As Paulo Coelho once wrote, when we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. In a world accelerating at unprecedented speed, leadership is being redefined, reshaping people, culture, and organizations alike. Artificial intelligence and automation are no longer mere tools. They are seminal catalysts, revolutionizing how talent is cultivated and empowered. Human resources has evolved beyond governance and compliance to become a driver of purpose, strategy, and organizational renewal. Now, in the era of Industry 5.0, the true challenge lies in achieving equilibrium, harmonizing the precision of machines with the imagination, empathy, and ingenuity of humans. The leaders of tomorrow will not only navigate complexity, they will orchestrate change, ignite inspiration, and empower teams to co-create the future.
With that spirit in mind, we are thrilled to welcome you to Vaachna 2025, the flagship HR Conclave of the Vinod Gupta School of Management, IIT Kharagpur. This immersive forum brings together visionary leaders, innovators, and managers to reimagine the future of work and the evolution of human capital. It's where bold ideas converge and tomorrow's leadership is forged. We are your hosts for today, Abhi Mukeshwar,
And Nandita,
and it is our privilege to guide you through this remarkable event.
nestled within the lush expanse of IIT Kharagpur's 2,200-acre campus lies the Vinod Gupta School of Management, established in 1993 as the first management school in the IIT system. VGSoM surpasses the conventional notion of a business school. It is a vibrant ecosystem where technological insight and strategic thoughts converge, crafting leaders who turn ideas into impactful realities.
Here, curiosity doesn't just accompany leadership, it animates it. Students are encouraged to reframe every challenge as a gateway to possibility and every thoughtful exchange as a step towards becoming the architects of future. At VGSoM, leadership is not taught as a title, but as a mode of being, resilient in adversity, empathetic in action, and visionary in intent. Students are not the passive recipients of knowledge. They are active creators, empowered to anticipate change and shape it with clarity and compassion. VGSoM stands as a beacon of progressive education, cultivating vanguard strategists who are not only analytical and strategic, but also humane and forward-looking, fully equipped to lead and transform the world in flux.
At VGSoM, education is not just about imparting knowledge. It's about reimagining leadership for a world that demands agility, insight, and humanity. In 2024, the school's achievements in the National Institutional Ranking Framework reflected our unwavering commitment to excellence, earning us a commendable 19th position. Our graduates emerged seamlessly prepared to lead across strategic domains, including consulting, operations, supply chain, product management, and strategy. Their readiness stems from not just rigorous academic preparation, but from embodying leadership marked by purpose and adaptability.
With an average pre-MBA work experience of 21 to 22 months, students step into pivotal roles across diverse domains, consistently showcasing their outstanding expertise and professional acumen. In the recent placement cycle for the 2023 to 2025 batch, VGSoM again affirmed its strength. With a 100% placement rate, our students commanded an average package of 22.75 lakhs per annum, and the highest package soared to 37.63 lakhs per annum. The reflections of the trust that recruiters place in our community. Industry leaders such as Accenture, Godrej, GSK, ITC Limited, IBM, Morgan Stanley, P&G, PwC, Titan, Wells Fargo, and several others regard VGSoM as a premier talent nexus for talent acquisition.
Let us now take you on a visual journey into the vibrant life at VGSoM through a short film that beautifully captures the essence of our community, where learning transcends textbooks, collaboration fuels innovation, and growth is a constant pursuit.
Welcome to the Vinod Gupta School of Management, where innovation meets excellence and dream humans. VGSoM, the first B school in the IIT ecosystem, was founded by a distinguished alumnus and a lifetime fellow of IIT Kharagpur, Mr. Vinod Gupta, in 1993. VGSoM offers programs that groom future industry leaders with a distinct fusion of managerial and technological expertise to excel in the business world. With over 30 years of history, VGSoM boasts a rich legacy, earning numerous accolades and a consistent top ranking among B schools by prestigious bodies. VGSoM's flagship program is a full-time residential offering tailored for graduates and master's degree holders in science, economics, and commerce. It blends lectures, case studies, group projects, and workshops, ranking among India's best. The diverse curriculum includes a wide range of electives spanning core managerial and technological courses, and students gain industry exposure through a 2-month summer internship. VGSoM features a highly experienced faculty hailing from various management fields.
Campus offers around-the-clock access to central facilities such as a library with an exclusive digital section, a gym, a canteen, and a guest house, a swimming pool along with other sporting amenities. Over the past 30 years, VGSoM has been dedicated to fostering the all-encompassing growth of future business leaders and has played a substantial role in the field of management education. It truly stands as a pioneer, leveraging its technical prowess. IIT Kharagpur provides VGSoM with necessary infrastructure, intellectual resources, and a robust alumni network, all driven by a resolute ambition to be the nation's premier institution. The Vinod Gupta School of Management invites you to join us on this journey of continuous service to the nation and reach new heights together.
We hope this glimpse into our world resonates with you as profoundly as it does with us. To us, VGSoM is far more than an academic institution. It is a cauldron of transformation where intellects are sculpted into resilient and visionary leaders. Each rigorous classroom discourse, Every serendipitous exchange and every subtle interaction in between molds us to confront challenges that extend well beyond our lecture halls. This film is not merely a showcase. It's a reflecting prism illuminating the ethos, culture, and the indomitable spirit that defines our community. In unveiling it, our reverence and pride to belonging to this illustrious legacy deepens immeasurably.
Before we proceed, let us take a moment to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our honored guests, whose wisdom enriches this gathering, and to our esteemed faculty. Your guidance and mentorship shape us into the leaders we strive to become.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to a moment steeped in tradition and profound symbolism, the ceremonial lighting of the lamp. In our culture, this age-old practice is more than just a mere ritual. The lighter lamp symbolizes the sublimation of the ego and negative impulses, ignited by wisdom, with the flame always rising upward, guiding us towards noble ideals. It's a solemn privilege to invite our respected Dean Professor Sangeeta Sani and the distinguished panelists to grace the stage and inaugurate Vaachna 2025 with this luminous gesture.
Thank you, honorable guests. Dean Professor Sangeeta Sani, ma'am. In a world where leadership is evolving to meet the complexities of a dynamic global landscape, the role of a leader has never been more pivotal. True leadership transcends traditional management. It embodies the courage to innovate, the resilience to adapt, and the foresight to guide organizations towards sustainable success. It is with profound pride and great honor that we extend a warm welcome to Professor Sangeeta Sani, the distinguished Dean of the Vinod Gupta School of Management, IIT Kharagpur. Since joining the institute in 2005, Professor Sani has been a guiding force in shaping not only the school's academic vision, but also its strategic trajectory. Her academic pursuits have culminated in numerous peer-reviewed publications and a highly acclaimed book on consumer behavior.
Beyond her academic achievements, Professor Sani's leadership is characterized by a deep commitment to nurturing future-ready managers. She exemplifies the qualities of a leader who not only adapts to change, but also actively drives it, fostering an environment where innovation, empathy, and strategic foresight are paramount. Her steadfast leadership has propelled VGSoM to unprecedented heights, while her intellectual contributions and insights have profoundly influenced the larger colloquy about the future of management education. Our esteemed Professor Sanjeev Chowdhury will now felicitate our Dean Professor Sangeeta Sani ma'am. Get ready to take everything. Take your pen also. Phone. We are privileged to have Professor Sani with us today, a leader whose legacy of excellence and visionary guidance continues to inspire and shape the leaders of tomorrow. Please join me in extending a warm round of applause for Professor Sangeeta Sani as she graces the stage to share her thoughts and wisdom with us.
Namaskar, good morning, distinguished dignitaries and guests, my colleagues, faculty, staff, and most important, my students. Why I said important? Because when we talk of leaders, they are the ones who have to take the country forward. And they have to prove that they have to be leaders right from today. That's how they start the journey towards a graceful journey ahead. And so, while we welcome them and we say, some of them just joined us a month ago, and we said that they are budding managers and aspiring managers. We always call them as managers, but what takes them to become a leader is what actually matters at the end of the day. So very special welcome to them, especially those who joined us just about 5 weeks ago. So it fills me with pride to welcome you all to this HR Summit, to the Vaachna 2025 at Vinod Gupta School of Management. We've always been very fortunate to have distinguished guests every year. And I take this moment to thank each one of you who've taken out your time from your busy schedules and given us this opportunity to interact with you all. And I hope the next 2 hours is just a beginning of the journey which we will have with you for the rest of our lives. And we hope that we carry forward this interaction forward into more fruitful relationships and collaborations in future. And that is wherein we together become leaders for future. Thank you so much for your time. So we stand together under a theme today with that challenges us all, which is a leadership reimagined, forging future-ready managers for the new era. Many of us, when we did our post-graduation, those of us who were sitting in the first row, or maybe some of us in the second row as well. When we were finishing our post-graduation, we were thinking, oh great, we've got a job in our hand now, and we are going to be there forever, and it's smooth sailing. But I think all of us will agree, whether we are in the corporate life or in the academic life, that life has not changed. We continue to learn, to lead. And if we do not learn, we will not be leading, we will not even be following, we'll be God knows where. In this age of uncertainty, learning becomes even more important. And such forums, such summits, such conferences give us that opportunity to learn from what is happening in the world outside. And today, when you interact with such stalwarts from the industry, you will realize that your learning is just started. Probably it's something like it never is going to end. Because if you speak to them, they will tell you that we're still learning. And when we have to lead organizations in such turbulent times, where you really don't know what's going to happen in the next second, you have to continuously learning to be able to lead. So, future-ready managers for a new era, I would say we will have to be ever ready, not ready. It has to be ever ready. So in an age of constant flux, where we see that leadership transcends traditional notions of authority and control, it's about embodying integrity and demonstrating wisdom to lead with strong foundation of values. Your skills matter, but you will also learn, you'll also have to understand it's about upskilling with core fundamentals of your values intact. So at VGSoM, we are deeply committed to our guiding principles, dedicated to the service of the nation. Those of you who come from that side, the boys, for example, they ride their bicycles from that side of the hospital, because their hostels are that side. You cross this main building every day where it says dedicated to the service of the nation. And those who don't, we see it off and on. Those who stay the other side of the campus and probably don't see this. But this core principle which we have, if we have to be dedicated to the service of the nation, we need to be, nurturing nurturing the very concept of holistic leadership that combines technical rigor, human sensitivity, with strategic vision and moral courage. We are honored today to bring together a distinguished panel of trailblazers who bring rich cross-sectorial perspectives today with us, and their insights will challenge us to rethink assumptions and reimagine possibilities, especially about human dimensions of leadership that determine sustained success in today's complex, bunny, VUCA world. So when we talk of a reimagined leadership, we basically talk of three pillars which underpin this vision. First and very, very important is resilience, which I think many of us do not realize the importance of. We have to build that into it, and that basically is the capacity to recover from setbacks and continue progressing with clarity and determination. If you work, you're bound to fail. If you do not fail, which it means either you're not working or you've been hardly working. But to give up is bad. To stand up the next day with fresh energy and rigor is the way to be a leader. So the first thing that you need to develop is resilience. Second is to collaborate. And IIT Kharagpur gives all of us that opportunity of transdisciplinarity to collaborate with our sister department centers and schools, which, as I would like to share with you, span across 60 of them. Right? So our students actually get that opportunity of that synergy, which now our institute is strongly getting into. And with the NEP coming in, all institutes, all IITs are strongly being encouraged to bring that into their curriculum so that, the techno-management synergy happens. In fact, if we talk of leadership and if we talk of a reimagined, I would say the perfect embodiment was our alumnus. Our mentor, the person who actually started Vinod Gupta School of Management, who had this idea 35 years, I think more than 1993, 92, he had that idea that why not have a management school in a tech environment. He was a BTech from the Agriculture and Food Engineering Department, Mr. Vinod Gupta. And he went abroad, set up his huge business empire there. And he said that when in the US it could happen, why can't it happen in India? So when he came back and gave this concept, nobody believed and nobody wanted to. And it was like, why should we have a management school in a tech system? Management schools, management education is for IIMs. But he reimagined something which was not there. And reimagined a lot of debate, and with, again, another leader, the director at that point in time, Professor K.L. Chopra, a lot of dialogue with the ministry, because there was huge skepticism, not only within IIT, but also across IITs, in MOE, within IIMs, everywhere. But we took that happened, and you see Vinod Gupta School, not only here, looking at us, most IITs then started their MBA program. Otherwise, we had MTech programs in IITs, Kanpur, Delhi, they all had MTech in industrial engineering, but none of them had an MBA program. So that was also our imagination and reimagination in terms of leadership. So what I'm trying to say is collaboration works, and with that idea, Mr. Vinod Gupta, to bring that sync between techno and management. So here again, we give this opportunity to our students, and some of our students are doing it this time, where they've brilliantly been able to, we've all been able to do that, bringing a sync with the timetable, and our students have been able to take some subjects from other departments to bring that fervor of techno management, so that this can actually get in, instead of just being in letter, it goes into true spirit as well. The third thing that we talk of is unwavering adherence to ethical principles and values if you have to think about leadership and reimagined leadership. So as I said, while we talk of skills, what's very, very important and fundamental is our core values, ethics and morals and integrity, because ultimately that is what matters. I was reading something somewhere yesterday, I forget the name of the person, a philosopher. He said, if it's intelligence or if it's hard work, you can get people. But getting people with strong integrity is something which is hard to find. That is the biggest asset that people, and it's a scarce asset today. People don't get that, to get people with very strong integrity. And I'm sure all of you would agree to that it's a scarce commodity. I would say it's a scarce asset. So to our students today, I emphasize that today's forum is your experimental ground, your leadership laboratory. I urge you to be very, very interactive. Let it not be one way. Let the Q&A be slightly longer, so that there's more interaction, there's more participation. Pay attention to what is being spoken of. Come up with very insightful questions, queries. Let it be very interactive. Let us all know that how you can think differently from each other, and how you can come up with brilliant questions to keep the interaction alive and make it more, exciting and energetic for all of us at the end of the day, so that when we end, we shouldn't feel, oh, we are sleepy. We should feel we are ready for the afternoon, because in the afternoon, we also have something great today. So be mindful of the entire session. Also, lastly, I'll say we must all embrace the guiding principles which we call as a TREAT, which is task orientation, relationship orientation, empowerment, authenticity, and team building. As today you embark on your leadership journey, and to our distinguished guests and our panelists, thank you again for coming down. I know KGP is slightly away from the mainstream towns and cities, but we welcome you. You'll get a absolutely good, pure AQI, and I'm sure if you've been here since last night, you probably would have had a good morning, fresh environment, and maybe you've taken a stroll also in the campus. So thank you so much. I'm sure we'll all be very happy listening to you, and you'll bridge theory and practice, aspiration and action. So as we begin today's conversation, let's not think of leadership as a badge or a title. Let's think of it as our responsibility towards our country, to take the country forward, towards being actually dedicated towards the service of the nation. So on behalf of Vinod Gupta School, of Management IIT Kharagpur. I look forward to an exciting session that sparks transformation and builds relationships and inspires leadership within our hearts and vision. Thank you so much. Welcome to Vaachna 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. Leadership is not about authority, but about influence and inspiration. Today, we are joined by an esteemed panel of leaders who have shaped organizations with their expertise and vision. It is our honor to introduce and felicitate them as they take the stage to share their insights with us.
You don't build a business alone. People do. And leaders, let them thrive. We are thrilled to introduce our distinguished panelist, Mr. R.J. Kumar Mishra, Group CHRO Patel Group, a manufacturing industry working in railway engineering infrastructure. Mr. R.J. Kumar Mishra brings over 2 decades of experience in human resource leadership across diverse high-growth sectors, including automotive, engineering, infrastructure, and power. He has demonstrated excellence in translating business strategy into impactful HR initiatives that instigate a perfusive performance and kindles employee engagement and organizational growth. Before joining Patel Group, he served as the Chief People Officer in RKCL and has also held pivotal roles at Genesis Power Infrastructure Limited, Baroque Engineering, RSB Transmissions, Tata Autocomp, and Next Step Infotech, evidence of his broad industry exposure and versatility. He now serves as the Group Chief Human Resource Officer at Patel Group, where he plays a central role in steering people strategy, catalyzing cultural transformation, and building inclusive, future-ready workplaces. His leadership is expected to significantly shape and drive the organization's cultural evolution and talent orientation. Under his guidance, Patel Group has embarked on initiatives that prioritize employee well-being and fosters an inclusive work environment. His unwavering commitment to lifelong learning ensures that the organization remains adaptable and forward-thinking in an ever-evolving industry landscape, maintaining its preeminence in the sector. It is an absolute privilege to have Mr. R.J. Kumar Mishra with us today, and we invite Professor Shaili Singh to kindly felicitate him. Let's give a big round of applause for Mr. R.J. Kumar Mishra.
Thank you, ma'am. To win the marketplace, you must first win the workplace. I am delighted to introduce Mr. Arunangshu Chatterjee, a celebrated leader in the human resources domain. Mr. Arunangshu Chatterjee brings with him nearly 2 decades of high-impact HR leadership across industries like steel, telecommunications, and consumer electronics. Mr. Chatterjee is a distinguished HR leader in strategic human resource roles spanning Tata Steel, Bharti Airtel, and Samsung Electronics. During his tenure at Samsung, he excelled as a division head HR for electronics business and regional HR head for North region, driving robust talent development, organizational cultural transformation, and strategic HR oversight. At Airtel, his leadership aligned human capital strategies with evolving business priorities, creating a high-performance work culture and boosting employee engagement. His foundational experiences at Tata Steel Utilities and Infrastructure Services Limited deepened his expertise in crafting effective employee engagement frameworks. At Vedant Fashions, his impact extended across the organization's extensive retail footprint under the Manyavar and Mohe brands, where he played a strategic role in shaping HR architecture and performance. Mr. Chatterjee holds a master's degree in economics and a postgraduate diploma from Xavier Institute of Social Services. As a token of appreciation, I would now like to invite Professor Anupam Ghosh to felicitate Mr. Arunakshu Chatterjee.
Talent is your most important resource for business. We are thrilled to introduce our esteemed panelist, Mr. Deep Banerjee. Currently, Mr. Banerjee serves as the head of human resources at Huhtamaki, India, where he is responsible for driving organizational effectiveness, cultivating a positive culture, and implementing talent, belongingness, inclusivity, and productivity initiatives for the business. Mr. Banerjee holds advanced degrees in labor laws, business, and human resource management. He is a seasoned professional with extensive careers across various sectors, including FMCG, automotive, banking, agribusiness, and packaging. He has worked with both large Indian business houses and multinational corporations. He has held leadership roles in various HR functions where he has been instrumental in executing critical, tactical, and strategic HR initiatives and overseeing business transformations during periods of growth in fast-paced and challenging environments. Mr. Banerjee has also led efforts to define and shape organizational culture, spearheading teams to enhance people processes, employee relations at factories, and productivity improvement initiatives that have led to successful business outcomes. Prior to his current role, Mr. Banerjee has worked with Godrej Agrovet Limited, serving as the head of HR for their animal feed and cattle genetic business. Before that, he worked at Colgate Palmolive Limited, leading HR at the company's manufacturing sites and global business services. He has also worked with organizations like Seat Tires and Kotak Mahindra Group. Mr. Banerjee brings a wealth of experience in leading both tactical and strategic HR initiatives, supporting business transformations from a people-centric perspective in dynamic and challenging environments. Please join me in giving a warm round of applause as we invite Professor Saini Das to felicitate him.
Thank you, ma'am. Train people well enough so they can leave. Treat them well enough so they don't want to. We are honored to welcome Mr. Kaushik Mukherjee, an accomplished human resources strategist and leader, who presently holds the position of Head of Human Resources Durgapur at PCBL Chemical Limited, a flagship company of RPSG Group, a pioneering force in India's carbon black chemical and power plant industry. Mr. Mukherjee brings over 2 decades of experience spanning manufacturing and services with deep exposure to chemical, graphite, cement, power, alloys, and telecom industries that has shaped a versatile strategic HR lens grounded in plant-level realities and enterprise-scale transformation. In his present mandate, he steers people strategy and IR excellence for PCBL Limited, catalyzing a culture of safety, competency development, and continuous improvement, while reinforcing progressive engagement and compliance disciplines across operations. He has also held vital roles across prominent organizations, including leadership stints at Graphite India Limited, Vodafone, Ultratech Cement, and Abhijit Group, demonstrating breadth across industrial relations, capability building, and culture enablement in complex multi-stakeholder environment. His leadership emphasizes policy realignment to business goals, coaching, and mentoring ecosystems, skill competency matrices, and performance architecture such as balanced scorecards and PMS, translating intent into measurable outcomes on the shop floor and beyond. A firm believer in continuous learning, Mr. Mukherjee holds advanced qualifications in labor welfare and law, including DSW Labor Welfare from Indian Institute of Social Welfare and Business Management, an LLB in labor laws, and a PGDBM in human resources, equipping him with a strong foundation at the intersection of HR strategy, industrial jurisprudence, and organizational design. This academic depth complements his track record in negotiations, union charters, statutory governance, and scalable HR operating systems, critical to building resilient, inclusive, and future-ready workplaces. Please join me in giving him a warm round of applause as we invite Professor Rudra Prakash Pradhan to felicitate him. Thank you, sir. The greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence. It is to act with yesterday's logic. Today, it's an honor to introduce Mr. Prashant Deshpande, Chief Human Resources Officer at Grow Indigo Private Limited. Mr. Prashant Deshpande is a seasoned human resource leader with close to 3 decades of diverse experiences across leading Indian and multinational conglomerates, currently serving as Chief Human Resources Officer at Grow Indigo Private Limited. He has played a pivotal role in steering HR strategy and talent initiatives. For Borosil Limited, he was the group head HR overseeing a cluster of companies. Known for his strategic outlook, Mr. Deshpande has led critical functions including talent management, organizational effectiveness, leadership development, and large-scale HR transformation. Mr. Deshpande is recognized for deploying innovative HR systems and nurturing leadership talent from within, contributing to both business growth and workplace culture. With a strong foundation in engineering from Savitribai Phule Pune University and a master's in human resources development from the University of Mumbai, he combines technical insight with people-driven leadership. In addition to his corporate achievements, he is active in industry forums, often lending his expertise to thought leadership in contemporary HR practices. Through his career, Mr. Deshpande has championed diversity, extreme agility, and is sagaciously visionary, making him a valued HR influencer in India's business landscape. We are honored to have Mr. Prashant Deshpande with us today. Please join me in welcoming him with a warm round of applause as we invite Professor Surojit Mukherjee to felicitate him.
acquiring the right talent is the most important key to growth. It gives us great joy to welcome Mr. Sunil Nayak, the Vice President, Human Resources of India and Southeast Asia at DHL Global Forwarding. Mr. Sunil Nayak is a distinguished human resource executive with nearly 3 decades of rich and multifaceted experience. He is presently serving as Vice President Human Resource for India and South Asia at DHL Global Forwarding. He has been instrumental in sculpting the HR landscape at DHL by championing employee engagement, talent development, and organizational behavior. Across various geographies under his stewardship, DHL Global Forwarding has been recognized multiple times as a great place to work and top employer, reflecting his commitment to cultivating a world-class environment. Mr. Naik's professional journey is marked by progressive leadership roles spanning prominent organizations such as ExxonMobil, Aditya Birla Group, and Fortis Healthcare, where he has demonstrated prowess in compensation and benefits, talent management, and HR operations. He embodies an astute and strategic, yet pragmatic approach to human capital, consistently aligning people's initiatives with business goals through a nuanced understanding of organizational dynamics to drive sustainable growth. Academically, Mr. Nayak encompasses an impressive education portfolio, holding an MBA from Cochin University, complemented by postgraduate diplomas from the Indian Institute of Management, Kozhikode, and XLRI Jamshedpur, which have equipped him with a solid foundation in management and human resources. His blend of rigorous academic credentials and extensive industry experience makes him a discerning visionary leader in the HR domain, known for fostering leadership development and nurturing organizational culture with extraordinary finesse. We are honored to have Mr. Sunil Nayak with us today. Please join me in extending a warm round of applause as we invite Professor Chandrasekhar Mishra to felicitate him.
Thank you, sir. We stand at a pivotal crossroad where tradition converges with transformation. In an era defined by rapid technological advances, dynamic organizational structures, and sharpened societal expectations, leadership itself is evolving, not simply to manage change, but to envision and chart unprecedented futures with courage and clarity. With utter joy and ebullience, we gladly present the theme for Vaachna 2025, Leadership Reimagined, forging future-ready managers for a new era. This theme embodies a profound paradigm shift. Leadership now surpasses hierarchical direction. It centers on inspiring purpose, empowering individuals, and fostering collective agility and innovation. It reflects the growing demand for leaders who lead not merely by outcome-driven rigor, but by inclusivity, resilience, and foresight.
Contemporary scholarship highlights this transformation clearly. Effective leaders now serve as facilitators of collective intelligence, nurturing diverse viewpoints and cultivating environments where empathy, adaptability, and continuous learning flourishes. They are future-oriented thinkers bringing emotional intelligence, strategic awareness, and ethical clarity to bear even amid ambiguity, while demonstrating perspectivism and prudence.
As we In today's landscape, leadership requires the dexterity to anticipate future trends, to navigate complexity with intention, and to act with integrity, while energizing others to contribute with conviction and agency. Leaders must be both visionary and grounded, agile and principled, adept at empowering others even while charting bold new directions. The future of HR stands here in the dominion of radiant strategy and teaming with unparalleled potential. Together, let us march forward into this monumental shift and embrace the vast opportunities awaiting us.
As we embark on today's dialogue, we are fortunate to be guided through this enlightening journey by our esteemed moderator, Mr. Sunil Nayak, whose vision and expertise will illuminate our exploration into the future of leadership. Without further delay, I request Mr. Sunil Nayak to lead us forward into this vital conversation.
Good morning to the Dean, Professor Soni, to all the professors and the academicians who are here, and of course, all the budding managers and both of the presenters. Thank you very much for going ahead and talking about us with such confidence and grace. Thank you so much for giving us a great start. Yeah. Maybe I'll speak on the behalf of all the panelists as well to say that, it's a privilege and honor for us to be a part of a session like this. And coming in and catching up with young professionals like you in an environment like this is something that genuinely gives us a lot of energy. I think Professor Soni mentioned about learning, and it's not just one way. It's an opportunity for us to learn about what's happening and what are the thoughts of the new generation of managers who are just going to come into the organizational workforce soon. So I'm excited, and I'm sure the panel is as excited and looking forward to our conversations and the interactions that we have. When I came in here today in the morning, I felt a tinge of envy. When I saw the campus, when I saw the facilities that you have, I had an opportunity. I thought I wish I had another opportunity to get back to academics, but I don't think I have that chance anymore, or I'll be too old to come back in again. Having said that, what I would urge all of you to do is to use your time here well. I heard about the young batch that has just come in. It's just been a few weeks since you're in. So congratulations to you, and I hope you use your next 24 months well, or 23 months, I guess, that is left well. And I'm sure there's a great opportunity that is waiting for you post that as well. I think we've already introduced the panel. So what I would do is I would go ahead and we had a conversation when we started off. We initially thought that we'll have a set of questions that were given to us. We went through the questions, we exchanged messages, and we decided that we'll scrap those questions. Yeah, so we're not going ahead with those questions that were sent over to us. What we will do is we look at it as a set of 3 acts. So when I talk about 3 acts, it's like a movie. One thing that I've realized all of us Indians or South Asians really like are cricket, politics, and Bollywood. So politics and cricket we'll keep out. It's too personal. We'll restrict ourselves to Bollywood. So if you look at a movie scene, you normally have 3 acts. So the first one is where you go ahead and introduce a context, right? So we'll look at leadership from a contextual standpoint as Act 1. The second is where we're introducing the heroes, right? So who's the villain, who's the hero, etc. So we'll try and understand what are the skill sets or the competencies that are required from a leadership standpoint. And third is where the hero obviously, sort of vanquishes the villain and everything ends well. So what is it that you're looking at as advice to the young managers? Yeah, would that be a good context to go through? Super. I think like Professor Soni also said, I think if you only hear us speaking, it's going to be an extremely dull and boring 120 minutes. So my suggestion is that assuming you have a question that you want to go ahead and ask, pen that down. We'll try and close out the Q&A in maybe around 30 minutes or so, 35 minutes, and then we'll open it up to the audience. And feel free to go ahead and ask any question that you have. Does that sound like a plan? Is it okay? Super. Excellent. So maybe starting off with Act 1. What I'll do is, if you look at leadership, and you talk about reimagining leadership, there was leadership in the past, there is leadership in the present, and leadership will continue to remain an important aspect in the future. In this current dynamic environment where so many things are changing at such a rapid pace, where expectations from the new workforce, AI and digitalization coming in, requirements in terms of maybe holding on to multiple roles, working through a virtual environment, etc. There, leadership itself is going through a whole new aspect of change. I'm excited to hear from all of you, seeing that you come in from such a varied background. So you have got people from manufacturing, from retail, we have people who are coming in from industrial side, services, and so on and so forth. What are your views on what are the basic theories about leadership that you see that will continue to remain constant? Professor Soni made a very interesting mention of three aspects. They spoke about resilience, they spoke about collaboration and values. So do you see this as something that's new, or do you see it as something that has continued on? So maybe what we could do is we'll take it off in two aspects. So maybe two of you could pick up the first question and the rest of you could pick up the rest.
So I'll start with best wishes to all the coming age managers and leaders. I mean, Professor Sahani has nicely articulated. It's very easy to become a manager, but it takes time and some journey to become a leader. So I represent a company which is a combination of manufacturing, infrastructure, and technology. So taking your clue, the first point which I would like to share with everybody, that it's very easy, So we fortunately born in India. So as far as HR or as far as the emotion is concerned, so from the childhood we are imbibed with that. So part of our emotion, part of our empathy, we learn throughout our life from our family to friends and all. And the second part, which is extremely important in today's world, the transformation, whatever happened. I mean, Mr. Sunil said, what happened? I mean, is it same that the resilience, is it same the kind of values which were there, or is it different now? See, industry, I'll be restricted to myself with the industry where I am working and some of the initiatives which we have taken. What I believe that empowering is very important. We are no longer believing on leaders having old age leaders. Now, when I called old age leaders, the 50 plus year, we have taken a decision that those who are in our industry are age group of 50 plus, so they will be kind of mentor and coach and impart their technical knowledge and the tacit knowledge, whatever you say, to the young and budding leaders. For that, we have initiated some of the programs, and say talking about our plant managers, talking about our infrastructure project heads, and mostly they are at the age group of 35 to 40. That's a concise decision which has been taken by the management along with the strategic team. Now, why is it so? It is to empower them, it is to create that agility with the youngness. That's what very important. Now, this is a double sword edge. Now, why double-edged sword? Why? In that case, the resilience is good, but it has to be valued at a speed. Somebody is performing good, you can't just wait till performance appraisal to be done. So recognition has to be done then and there itself. Now, what are the methodology of recognition and reward and recognition? That's very important for the organization to value those high performers. And the third part, which is extremely important now, the MT and GT scheme, which is vividly working in our organization. So to share with you, this year we have inducted 10 management trainees from various institutes of Premier Institute of India. I mean from IIMs and XLRI and XISS kind of. And we have a year-long program for them. So what we are expecting that throughout this journey, they'll understand the business, they'll understand the leadership nuances, so that from next year onward, when they will be taken into the leadership role, they have the fair chance. So this is what the industry is doing now, because technology is changing and the competition is cutthroat. Competition cutthroat means, the margin earlier was probably the EBIT and all was slightly higher, and now the cost pressure is everywhere. So how we can resilient? By constant evolution, by innovation, by structural suggestions and all. So this is what it is. I took this resilience and collaboration. These two are extremely important for the organization because there are two challenges. One, your internal challenge, and other one is your external challenge. Sometimes it is completely unforeseen. It comes just like that, and you have to be resilient to that. And that's what is very important. And as a strategic team, as a leadership team, everybody has to be so agile that to adapt and walk the talk is something which is important. So this is what it is. Thank you.
Yeah, please.
Good morning, everybody. Don't tell me what to do, guys. That's an answer to a specific question, right? What can be the question? Let us be interactive. I know up there somebody is sleeping, I see there. That's okay. All awake? Superb. So, please don't tell me what to do. This is an answer to a specific question. What can that question be? Think. Don't tell me what to do. I know my job, right? I know what to do. I know my education. I know what to do. So don't tell me what to do. You are not a leader anymore if you are telling me what to do. So I think that's the first change that's coming in. Help me be successful. Listen to me. Set me up for success. That's what typically makes a leader of future, today, and supposed to be of the past. Do not direct me. Help me be successful. I know my job. Number one. I think one very important aspect that comes up nowadays, again, the value system Ma'am spoke about, is be authentic, guys, because, nobody wants to work with a manager, leader, colleague, peer, whatever you say, who's not authentic. Authenticity builds trust. I would want to work with somebody whom I trust, inside office, outside office, wherever it is, right? Friends, colleagues, hostel, roommates, wherever. authenticity from a leadership is very, very critical nowadays. I might not be a subject matter expert, don't need to be. I mean, that's where we have my teams who know possibly more than me in their own areas. Can I possibly navigate being authentic? Tell that I don't know, help me out. And help them succeed. That's the third part. The last point I would say is, again, end of the day, it's industry, right? Cutthroat is what all of us spoke about. So if we need to be successful, if we need to grow, we need to deliver, right? If we don't deliver, we can't just go ahead and talk. We can talk for a year, 2 years, then we'll say he only talks. Forget him. So as a leader, how can somebody provide empowerment, however, with accountability? Empowerment, delegation doesn't come free. If we get a free hand to do what we want to do mistakes, ask for help, but be accountable for your job. We cannot just upward delegate. So as a leader, if we have that thought that, well, I'm talking to a team, I'm talking to my peers, and leadership is not necessarily vertical, right? It's also horizontal at many a times. People will ask for help. Am I able to give them what they want? Am I able to empower them, letting them do mistakes, but end of the day deliver and be accountable for the job that I'm entrusting you on? So I think that's where we're moving to. We cannot kind of go ahead and dictate to people because we all know our jobs. We all know what the organization vision is. We know our annual operating plan. We know our budget. Nothing to talk about. You go to the website, you find everything. So that's not a job of a leader to kind of go and repeat the same thing that is available online. So I think for me, it's creating a very, very personal touch, driving productivity, and at the job place, what do you come for? That is a sustainable growth for the organization. So I think that's what I think.
Yeah, please.
I'll tell you 5, 6 leaders in the last 100 years. Leaders in their own rights. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. This hall is Netaji Auditorium, I think. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Adolf Hitler. The next name is going to be a little debatable, but I'll still tell it because he was a leader for a set of people. There was a guy called Osama bin Laden. Elon Musk. Ratan Tata. What they did, how did they have, they built the organization, they delivered something. Take everybody, including that guy Osama bin Laden. You have to articulate, a leader needs to set the vision. When IIT Kharagpur was set up, there was the founder members set a vision. Why we exist, what we want to achieve, our vision, our mission. How do we want to deliver that? Shared beliefs, core values. All the people I named, they have done that. A leader is expected to do that. A compelling vision will energize and engage the team. Emotionally connect. And then a strategy. How do we achieve? How do we win? Netaji Bose thought, how do we win against the British? Corporate leaders think, how do we win in the marketplace? Win over competition. The next thing a leader has to focus on is deliver, which Deep also said. Execution, excellence. two planes hitting the Twin Towers. Just imagine how meticulous was their execution. No matter what was that, it could not be detected, diagnosed. Organizations gaining market share. My last company, Samsung Electronics, hugely competitive space in appliances and display products. Execution excellence to actually deliver the results, get the numbers, gain in market share, deliver customer value. The third thing is very important is to do all of these things. What are our processes around talent? What kind of people and skills we need? What is the kind of organization we'll build? How do we get this talent to come together and work together? Teamwork, culture, innovation, collaboration. Who are our leaders? What is the leadership bench? How do we build leadership pipeline? Who should we promote? Most organizations will have leadership competency framework. This is their simplest definition of leadership in that organization context. And then continuously work on the core competencies of your organization. Now, all the leaders that I named, their organization had some core competence or organization capabilities. A leader has to have a hawkish focus on that and continuously work on those things. Now, parallelly, along with doing all these things, a leader himself has to be a role model. Demonstrate the values, the leadership competencies himself. He has to be a role model whom people can emulate, look up to. He has to be authentic, as Deep said. Very, very important thing. Authenticity, being yourself. Nobody can know everything. It's okay and absolutely appreciated to be humble that I don't know this. I'll learn that. These days, we guys learn a lot of things from youngsters. Reverse mentoring, you would have heard the term. It's very important to build relationships of trust. Trust is something that binds all of us together. Be inclusive and show empathy. Some personal traits of the person he has to bring to the table for people to know him as a person of values, integrity, who is inclusive. This is how I look at leadership. All the 5-6 leaders whose names I took, in their organization, in their respective organization, they were looked upon as great leaders. You agree with me? Even that guy, OSB, OBS. And at times as HR professionals, I think the kind of organizations they run, what would be their process of hiring? How do they hire? How do they assess culture fit? Values. Best of scientists and technocrats work for some of those organizations. What is the kind of leadership they are and those qualities, how do they demonstrate? Or At times, it's food for thought. One mole in the team can expose the entire thing. Thank you.
Hello. Yeah. What a way to set the context of leadership reimagined, forging future ready for the managers for a new era. First and foremost, let it be a dialogue, not a monologue. Last from the row, and we should be interactive. If we can't interact, then the ultimate objective of leadership is not getting met. And what a nice way Mr. Sunil has set the context in respect of Bollywood. So Bollywood means Bollywood movies. There should be a venues, there should be a place. So this is the one of the ideal place where we are sitting today. India's first IITs, probably 1951. India's first business college within IITs, 1993. VGSoM. And I am representing the industry who also set the first plant in the history of Indian carbon black in 1960. So what a correlations of it. So what a context. And I'm feeling really bit pride. Yeah, but be it the journey of 1951 onwards, 74 years, or 1993 or 1960. This land is same, but people's philosophy, people's mind, every thought process, it got changed. There is a paradigm shift in last 2 decades. People have come forward from the autocratic leadership to collaborative relationships. People are now expecting the participative leadership. Trust, mutual trust. One thing I am telling from my expectations, from my own learning, that if you can make your team members totally engaged, if your team member can feel safe on your leader, on the leadership, if they can think that yes, they are contributing, be it the soft floor people, be it the top management, if the people can understand that yes, they are able to contribute and they are contributing, it is getting reflected into the company's vision, then only people would be in team. So collaborative relationship is one of the nice way. What Professor Sangeeta ma'am already said, resilience, collaborative and ethical values. My dear friends, these are the really fundamental pillars. I will touch a bit about the values, value system. Being a leader, if you want to grow, you have to grow with a team. It will not happen that you are doing good, but your teammates are not meeting the targets. Sometimes it happens in the industry that the leader himself is claiming that out of 5 ratings, I am getting 3, 4 plus. But while he is giving the rating of his teammates, it's maybe average or maybe good. Is it possible? Is it a rational way of thinking? No. So, always the value system, it has to work. You have to create a collaborative team. You have to give space to your teammates so that they can be much more effective. One thing is that your aptitude, something is your aptitude, everything is your attitude which will set your altitude. So come forward, be transparent, be ethical and be a good team member initial of your life, then only you can be a good team leader. Be trustworthy. Thank you.
So, friends, I think all my esteemed colleagues have touched upon whatever is really required for a good leader to be. पुराने ज़माने में ऑलवेज ये कहावत थी, ये कहा जाता था that you cannot choose your parents and boss. Now it is not true. People join organization and leave bosses. Very, very fundamental fact. Until a person who doesn't understand this is going to be a bad leader, is always going to be a loser of his talent. Okay? One of my executive directors in Tata's used to always say that a leader is a virtual parent of his team. And that sentence is actually engraved in my heart. Truly, leader has to be a parent for his or her own team. It's so very important to understand that all the principles of parentship has to be imbibed in a good leader. Only then, and this is very, very, this is not going to change forever, okay? With whatever Gen Z, Gen Alpha, whatever it comes as, this basic principle, as a good leader, you have to always imbibe. And one more sentence he used to tell me always, that can you define a good leader in context of HR? A very good statement which has again got engraved in my heart is, every good leader has to be a HR manager for his or her own team. So our team has to be nurtured properly, guided properly, we have to become role model for that team. And John Maxwell's principle also says that, people will, respect you up to some extent. Until they have a compulsion, they will definitely respect you. But beyond that, to gain a respect, you have to give complete thought of their development, their upbringing, their nurturing, their well-being. Then the permanent and long-lasting respect as a leader comes in. So please imbibe these values into you if you want to become absolutely a good leader in the future. That's it.
Wow, that was like a masterclass in leadership, right? So we covered things like empowerment, we looked at vision, we looked at how it has to be executed well. We also spoke about the need to go ahead and, handle them as people managers, right? And looked at ethics and values, how it's important. And Deep, you touched on a very interesting aspect about being honest and authentic. Yeah? All of these are timeless. So this sort of sets the stage. I don't think this has changed in the past. It's as relevant now in the present, and it's going to be equally relevant in the future. So let's go to Act 2. Now, this is where the villain comes into the picture, okay? So if you look at how things were going on well. We seem to know what we are talking about. We know how to handle people. We've got very sage advice that we have given to the youngsters. Now things change. We suddenly have maybe 4 generations working together in our environment. Suddenly now we are working with teams that are not even present in front of us, right? So I work in supply chain. For us, operations is where everybody is present with us. And then you had COVID hitting us, and people started working from home. So how do you go in and manage or lead a team of that sort? We spoke about culture. Culture was something that we got to imbibe because everybody was in the same location. You had colonies, you had people staying together. Now suddenly you are working in global environments. So technology, the kind of roles, maybe people, everything is changing. So in this context, what do you think are some of the skill sets that the young managers of today, and of course all of us, need to pick up? What are the areas that you think that we need to work on that will help us to continue to remain as effective, keeping these basic principles in mind, that you think will help us to go ahead and reimagine the way leadership needs to be looked at? Yeah.
It's a wonderful question, Sunil. Thanks for that point to be brought on. In my own organization, I have led group head as group head HR in companies like Borosil. Before that was with Tata. Now in Grow Indigo, which is a smaller scale organization, you know, subset or Indo-American joint venture, wherein, you know, all my team members, you know, we work on two verticals, wherein one is commodity selling vertical, the second one is carbon credit vertical, where all the PhDs and international PhD holders are our employees, you know. All of them are sitting on discrete places. So there is no boundary of a manager to be able to effectively manage them. We have to learn that art. And for that, one principle I want to bring on table that, you know, every manager or other leader is better or, you know, more evolved than manager. Leader has to master the emotional intelligence. He has to understand if the people are, you know, joining with some app or tool like MS Teams or, you know, whatever it is, he doesn't see them in front of everyone, and therefore, you know, he has to understand what must be going on when people are operating from the distance. How to manage the stress level, how to manage the turbulences, how to manage the work pressure of them in an effective manner, and for that, leader himself or herself has to be emotionally stable. So it's quite easily said that EQ of a leader has to be far evolved than IQ if you want to really grow as a leader. So I think that one point I really wanted to bring on table when this point comes up. And therefore hybrid is a reality, and it's going to be remain as reality because there is no boundary for operations now. And you know, when I classify the work as two different distinct type of works, one is independent and second is interdependent. The independent jobs are definitely going to be hybrid. Interdependent can have some common timing across and so on and so forth. It's a point to be discussed and customized as per any of the organization, but that's going to be a reality. Leader has to modify him or herself to accustom to that. Thank you.
You have to create a sense of purpose. Tell me, just go back 30 years back. You might have seen that lot of computer centers were available, those who were actually teaching us the MS Offices, correct? Those classes are not available nowadays. People are not asking that whether you are computer literate or not. During our days, it was a common question, do you know computer? That was a common question. But nowadays, it is granted. So my purpose is of putting this context. So people on that point of time were actually they were going through that change. That means they have to learn the computer. Tell me, have you seen any center that where it is being taught how to handle Apple phone? How to handle any iOS or any Android phone? Probably the Apple 17 is about to be launched. Have you seen any classes for that? No. Why not? That is also a new era. Because this talent pool, these people, they know that how to handle the show of this Apple 17, iPhone 17, I mean to say, iPhone 17. So nothing to worry. So you have to create the purpose. Sense of that purpose has to be there. If you want to compete in this global space, you have to know that what are the changes. You have to anticipate it. Because if you change, after change, you may not survive. Along with the changes, you may, but before the changes happen, you will lead. So you have to anticipate those changes. You have to know AI. You have to know EI also. Emotional intelligence you also. About yourself, about your teammates, so that you can handle it well. So sense of purpose, that is to be created. That's why the employee value propositions will be reflected. Thank you.
Superb. I think just to rephrase the question that Sunil, you kind of spoke about, Amongst all of us who's sitting there and us, we're talking about the typical skill sets that we as new gen budding leaders, we would want to imbibe, in ourselves as we move on to the industry or entrepreneurship or into whatever it is. I think, let me get down to the level of there and be very, very blunt. First of all, it's very, very important for us not to think ourselves as gods. I think we need to be humble. Very important. Because we are coming in from very good campuses, we are coming in from a lot of, we have a lot of input from professors, from friends, wow, I'm from. Being humble is very important. That really, really matters in the industry, because you are not the only one, or we are not the only one who have that pedigree, right? There is a whole ocean of people having pedigree. What changes or brings or makes you different from others is being humble. As simple as that. Authentic, number one. The second thing I really feel, and possibly in our organizations we talk, is be fearless. Guys, ask questions. As a leader, if we are not able to stand our rights, what leadership are we talking about? Basics, right? Ask questions. You don't agree to certain things? Ask. I don't agree. Tell that, well, I don't agree, but I will need to agree because you are my boss. That's okay. But let's at least voice that, well, I don't agree to things. Very important skill set, because that's what possibly helps us grow in the organization, because the more we grow, more questions and more no's is what we have to say, right, than yeses. So let's start right from now. And in the right way, not being arrogant or kind of that. I've already spoken of standing your right. Fourth thing, all this is okay. Let's own up things, our actions. We do a mistake, we do something great, we need to own up. Let's not either upward delegate or delegate to our teams or peers or whatever. Owning up something or our actions really talks about our leadership. It can be anything. You might, maybe if you're in messes, if you are kind of getting one additional bowl of chicken on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, I'm not sure how it works here. But if you kind of go and take it off, whatever, go out on a night out without telling, own it up. Very important, because that brings authenticity again and kind of makes us a lot better leader. The last thing is, guys, listen. And listen well, very actively, because most of the answers come from there. And, don't listen only through your ears. I always say that listening is a complete activity with see and listen, don't hear and listen, because that really helps. So listen well, understand what the other person is trying to tell, and possibly the moment you kind of answer back or respond, it really, really helps, because the other person also resonates with that. That's the reason we are talking of listening, not to kind of listen for nothing, right? Make use of that listening. So I think for all of us sitting there and here, new gen leaders, would-be leaders, these skills are very important. Apart from whatever we read on the books, we'll have our Maslow's, we'll have our theories, to padhna hi hai. But apart from that, I think life skills are very, very important for us. That differentiates.
So the theme of the last act was Bollywood. So I'll draw reference to that. Lagan, how many of you have seen it? A classic example of leadership on the ground, and I myself have used several clips from there in leadership sessions, dialogues, programs. Every bit of that, what I don't remember the character, Amir Khan did. Yeah, so you can relate to that. If you want really to know more about it apart from theories, you should watch the movie once again. A lot of leadership, apart from what we have discussed, is about conversations. A leader is always communicating. He has to. He has to share the vision, the purpose, the values, and continue to free sell it. Find out opportunities where he can reinforce that once again. Talk about it once again. Get people together, energized, engaged to it. Conversations are critical and are very, very can be impactful, provided you look at it that way. A person who is demotivated can, in 10 minutes' time, have 100% motivation. And a motivated guy in 10 minutes can be absolutely depressed. Possible? How you interact. Very important ingredients of that would be empathy, emotional intelligence, emotional agility, how to respond, where to respond. A person who is very upset, if you just give him a very patient and authentic listening, he is relieved of 60% of his depression or the problems. So being with him there, not only physically but emotionally. How many of you have read that, I think, 5 Powers of a Manager? I think it's there in the OB books. The top 2 there are lower level ones. It starts with position power. Then it goes to reward power. Then it goes to coercive power. Then the 4th one is expert power. How do you command a respect? Your team or somebody, colleagues come to you with a problem. Problem solving skills is very important. That is where innovation comes into play. Not only the accepted ways, means of doing it. That is where all your latest technology will come in. If I have to go somewhere to do something, I look it up over ChatGPT today. I didn't do it 2 years back. I have a software which combines 5 different things, ChatGPT, Copilot, and Gemini, and gives me the best answer. Expert power. Are you able to guide, solve problems, give them ideas? Leader is expected to be a coach also. A very, very important quality. Not all the time provide solutions. And the last power there is referent power. One person starts getting respect from people because of his authenticity, because of the trust he has built, because of his expertise, problem-solving skills, communication, inclusivity. You agree with me? Any other point of view? We are only talking here. None of you are sharing anything from your side. Does it resonate with you? We have to start doing it. From your side, 21 years back, I was on the other side, sitting with one of you. I feel, and the MTs and everybody that I have seen in the different companies, you people, most of the MTs that we have hired, and all of you would be outstanding in terms of your theory and functional knowledge. What makes these people really successful and click at work is their interpersonal skills. There are cognitive abilities and there are social and interpersonal skills. How good are you in terms of collaborating? Today it is all about you, your project, your this, your assignment, your marks, you. When you go and join an organization, it will be we, the team. The team becomes successful. No one person, talent alone cannot, or maybe by fluke can win 1 or 2 games. Talent doesn't win tournaments. You agree? 1 or 2 star players in a team can't win tournaments. So learning how to work together with others, interpersonal skills, collaboration, teamwork, the social skills. The teams that you will join probably have 4 generations of people in it. Your generation is Gen Z, I guess, right? Then there will be millennials. Then there will be Gen X. Most of us probably are Gen X. And then there will be some baby boomers. Why have these categorizations been done? Because our basic characteristics are a little different. What motivates me may not motivate a Gen Z. What engages me on the job may not motivate a millennial. So being sensitive and sensible about these differences in the team, we call something situational leadership style. What applies to one person, maybe the same style may not have the same degree of effect on the other person. It's not like producing, let us suppose, Samsung TVs, QLED 65. Every TV produced is having the same dimensions, same features, same thing. But in a team, everybody is different. How are we sensitized towards it and sensible towards our actions? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's why it becomes so important. And this is what is at practice today. All of us here sitting here are facing it. We see so many articles writing that Gen Z is so difficult to work with. Have you come across such articles? So many leaders are complaining about it. But by 2030, they will be 40% of the workforce, all of you. You will get into leadership positions. So these are some of the things one has to be, sensitized towards, sensible towards, and display high level of intellectual, emotional, social, and cultural quotient to be effectively leading a team. Thank you.
So to share whatever I have spoken in my earlier context, again, it's basic. I mean, we heard about leadership theories and all, which is important. But however, there are 3 basic terms which all of us, we are practicing. When you will come up to the industry, so you need to start practicing. And what Mr. Sunil said, that the entire working, the style of working is changing over the period of time. Nobody has imagined that one day it will come hybrid kind of working. One day it will come that we are working on the Zoom or maybe Gmeet or 365. So all these things are coming with the adaptability. Adaptability as a leader, we need to adapt as soon as possible. So we are adapting on the daily basis, all the situations, whatever happening, the business nuances, whatever happening, we are the business leaders. So first, the belief what all of you, I am not distinguishing you and we are practicing it. You need to do that when you will come up and believe that you are driving the business. So there is a journey from employees to employer, and that mindset shift is extremely important. And second, the professor and everybody talked about the integrity, you know. Now, being we are working in a different kind of zone, in hybrid or in online and all, nobody is watching, you know. So then, integrity is something which comes from within. That to do something right when nobody is watching. So as a leader, we need to imbibe that. And also, as a theory part of it, going ahead, industry is doing the skill wheel analysis. I mean, the skill wheel analysis as a head for your team is extremely important, and recognition of skill wheel is also important. There are the very basics, but these are the things which drives as a good leader or moderate leader. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Again, a very, very easy job for me. I just need to go in and quickly summarize whatever it is that I've heard. I think you've covered most of the points. Interesting areas that I heard were on emotional intelligence, adaptability and importance of change, the importance of communication. You know, how important is it to go ahead and communicate whatever vision you have, and also ensure that you have not just the emotional quotient, but an ability to go ahead and convince or inspire the teams, you know. I think we should move to Act 3, where we look at what is called a very happy, everybody gets well together and goes on well, right? Let's look at it from a funny note, right? I'm sure at some point of time, like we've all mentioned, we've been on the other side. So can you share an instance where you have had a oops moment where you were not a leader, but you were actually having a conversation with a leader, and that became a leadership lesson for you? Is there anything of that sort that you would be able to share? A short story or an incident that you could remember that you still take pride in going ahead and telling people about?
Yeah, it's a very short story, but very impactful for all of us. I mean, when we learn, see, as a leader, we learn that we need to provide service, and we have to be very empathetic. We need to see to it that we are the sought out leaders of the organization, kind of. You know, there is a lot of competition in that range. See, that story goes in this, that there is a small chatsali, in our language we said, and Gurukul and chatsali. So some of the kids, they were being taught there. So the guru said that you need to provide service for going ahead in your life. Now curiosity generated, and the students, they asked that what kind of service? I mean, can you give us some example? Then Guru said, service, just like, say, while you are going on the road, and an old lady or old man is standing and wanted to pass the road with the heavy traffic, and you are taking them crossing that road. So that's the kind of example. Then student took it and they went to the road directly. And they saw there is an old lady, and there are three of them. So old lady was standing. So the first one, he went and asked that old lady, would you like to cross the road? That old lady says, no, I don't want. So said, no, you need to cross the road because I need to provide service. So then that old lady said, no, I don't want. Then the second boy, he went and asked that old lady, would you like to cross the road? Probably the first one couldn't convince her. The second one goes and said, would you like to cross the road? The lady says, why these people are asking me to cross the road? So let me go. So she crossed that road along with that boy. The third child came and said, would you like to cross the road again? So come back to this. So because teacher said that you need to provide service. So what is important to answer in this context that expectation mapping is very important. As a leader, the basic important role of the leader to map the expectation, the exactly what is it needed from the team. And unless and until it will be spelled out so well, so then it is difficult. So I wanted to relate this story with the expectation. So to take this thing to set right why it is so important. Thank you.
You know what? Really fortunate to be sitting in the middle because Sunil, since the last 1 hour, is completely driving everything out of script. Yeah. Whatever was there in the script, he is just playing, let it be out of script, and all oops moments are coming out of that. So, so happy to be here. Hear out everybody, listen, and then answer. That was on a lighter note, but yeah, I think 2 instances, I'll call out one. And I think that was a life-defining moment for myself because, we're talking of oops for ourselves, right? So, I would not name the characters here because that's not right, but 2 very large multinationals, one Indian multinational, one global multinational, the transition was going on for myself. And I was extremely close to the global CHRO for one of the organizations, and I went and spoke to him when the other offer was also not there for me. I did not have an offer, but the level of trust that I had on my super boss that point in time, that I could go and tell him and ask him that can I go and look at that organization. Of course, as a boss, he'll have to do his job, right? He will listen, but he'll also have to be delivering of retaining me. So he said, try retaining. Then we had a discussion. Then he said, okay, go ahead. Whatever reasons, what it is. Later, when I joined the other organization, what I got to understand and know was these 2 gentlemen, my new boss and my ex-boss, were batchmates in Excel. One, they were part of the first management trainee organization. Again, a stronger bond in the same organization, in complete sync throughout the last whatever number of years they were in. They talk to each other pretty much and part of the same forums. Now, learning. They did not speak to each other. They knew each other, close friends. For me, had I known this before I joined the other organization, possibly it would have been a bigger oops. But learning, super professionalism, trust, and possibly propelling a team member's, a colleague's career ahead, taking pride in that. My first boss, the first person with whom I was working with, possibly knew as a leader that I'm going to a new place, which is propelling my career forward, right? If he was not in a position to kind of give me something equivalent or better, he just did not cut it short. So, inherent character of trying to do good for your team is so very important. That comes naturally. You cannot just teach, listen, preach. Doesn't happen. So I think that's very, very important. But I think that changed my outlook whenever I see people moving out of an organization. Because we started respecting individuals as a professional and started possibly thinking the fact that, I beg to differ from the fact that we are not families in organizations. In organizations or in families, nobody gets fired. In organization, people get fired. So we are not, I never feel that an organization is a family for myself. But what I feel is you are part of a community. And that community building and that sense of community is very, very strong. And that can only happen with being transparent, helping each other, trying to propel each other's career. And that's how we also get growing. Because if your team is not growing, you as a leader, I think you have your ceiling there. So great learning for me, but oops.
This is a little bit of a, it was an embarrassing moment for me. So it was in Samsung, my initial days in Samsung, and it is a South Korean multinational. Culturally, they are a little different, and I had to interact with a lot of South Korean leaders. That time we were going through a big organization redesign and change. And I was leading it because I was the national business HR head for electronics division. And there were multiple stakeholders. So my South Korean HR leader expected that every day at 8:30 in the morning, I will go and brief him. What happened yesterday? What is it planned today? Because there was a big transition that was underway. What are some of the obstacles and challenges that I foresee, which he would in turn keep the president and CEO posted, that this is what we are doing and so on and so forth. And Gurgaon during, December, January is very cold. So I don't like cold. The winters, I'm not very fond of Gurgaon winters at all. So 3 days I was late. 8:30 sharp there at his desk to actually give him a brief. 3 days I was late. And he was also a busy person. I was asked, rather directed, that next 7 days, I will have to be there at his desk at 8 o'clock now, not 8:30. 8 o'clock with a full page summary of what happened yesterday, what did we do, what are our achievements, and what is the progress made, what is the plan for today, and what are the challenges or obstacles we foresee or anticipate. So next 7 days, now things got even more difficult for me. 8 o'clock I had to be there. So all my colleagues and everybody was kind of sympathizing with me. Oh, poor Arnangshu, acha, kya kar sakte ho? ठीक है, set an alarm, do everything, but be here 10 minutes before 8. This time don't miss, otherwise now he'll transfer you to Africa. So, but in course of this, I built a very strong rapport with him, very strong rapport with him. And I also understood the cultural nuances, why he was actually pissed off with me. While I have a lot of things to do and I wanted him to trust, we have been talking about trust so much, trust on my competencies, that I will not let a single ball fall. I have other things to do on the floor, hold on. But the cultural differences, nuances was equally strong. And some people, especially those people, have very high work ethics. 8:30 means 8:30. And you have to be there. So I started appreciating those even more, the cultural differences and the cultural nuances rather, and how should I be actually adjusting, adapting, adopting to work better with that gentleman. Thank you.
It was really a honest oops moment for me on that point of time. There was a discussion. One facilitator came, and the discussion was for about the populations of 20-25 people, and it was a round table. So there was no opportunity to go backside and take a snap. So we had to listen. We had to show that yes, we have been listening. So what happened to me? So at the end, the leader asked, so you understood? You all said, yes, sir. Then I said, okay, fine. Since you have understood, so can you please summarize one by one? I was caught. So when my turn actually came, I started to say, yes, sir has come from Jakarta, so he is having that type of experience. Are beta, you are not supposed to tell about me. You are supposed to tell about my speech, what you have taken away. So that was a really embarrassing, and from that day it was my learning. Whether you are taking snap in the last corner or not, please write down some words which I have been maintaining from that day. So that was a really great learning. And another learning, not from the professional field, during our college days, everybody plays cricket. So I also used to play. But in that match, in the ground, I was having bit type of, you can say that, handholds. So what happened? One ball hit to the, his little finger. Somehow it came out in the, it's not detached, just came out. So all the people, they just went there and they tried to just fix it up. All are trying, one by one. He became the guinea pig and all are trying to just fix it up. I was watching, since I was having that type of hold. Okay, leave it, let me go. So I was also trying and I found that, okay, it's going. Then it's okay, it's going, it is set there. Then I found that the person who was penning, he said, "Are dear, it's not right hand, it was the left hand, you took my right hand dear." So it was another example of wrong competency mapping. So that was also oops moment for me.
Only one quick example for, from my earlier stance at Tata's. In one, on-the-job transfers, I had been pushed to get transferred at one plant as plant head of HR. And at that same moment, my dad was suffering from his heart attack. I was really worrying how to get it done. I was only the single child there to take care of him, and it was a very difficult moment. My boss, who was a Parsi gentleman, he called me and he said that there is no choice. You have to be there. It's for your betterment. If you lose this opportunity, it will not come so quickly in your career. For your family, you don't worry. I was pushed for that location. I had been at that location. When I reached there, one paper was given to me along with my transfer and relocation letter that every weekend I was allowed to travel to my home back, and this was instruction by my executive director to take care of my family. Plus, he himself used to visit my ailing dad and take care of him to see that he is well placed, well taken care of, and the regular kind of update used to reach to me without having any knowledge or anything from my side. I think, these are the kind of commitments that a leader has to follow, unsayingly, undictatingly. I mean, I could not forget that moment, and therefore that played a vital role in my career. My dad is very well taken care of. Fortunately, he's there with us at the age of 82, very well taken care of. I mean, these are the things a leader has to play a walk the talk kind of a role. He has to be really the role model and the caretaker for the team in the places where it is really required. Thank you.
So we've completely run out of time. I told them 30 minutes. I think we've gone way beyond the 30 minutes. But I think you've been a sport. All of you have been a sport. Like Deep, you mentioned, we haven't told you anything about what's coming. And every time I ask a question, I could see you frowning and asking, why is Sunil asking this question, right? But thank you so much for being such candid sports. And thank you for such candid and insightful perspectives. I think you've been able to go in and provide us a lot of insights from talking about emotional intelligence, empathy, about adaptability, etc. I think one common thread that I can see that is going through all our discussions is that as managers of tomorrow, they need to continue to remain adaptable. They need to focus on empathy. They need to, of course, work with the new generation and be tech savvy. And the one aspect that I really saw coming through across all was that managers or leaders have to be human. You know, we need to look after people and talk about them in that aspect. So thank you so much. Thank you for going ahead and spending this time in terms of explaining and answering those questions. And I think, I'm not sure, as you mentioned, they've been awfully quiet. So I think we now need to go ahead and open the floor to all of them. So the floor is yours. Please do go ahead and ask any questions. Thank you. That's the spirit that we need. I don't know who's sitting at the top left corner, but I think that person has been in the line of sight for many of us. So just be warned, we might ask you a few questions. But whoever's put a hand up, maybe we start from there, right?
And guys, it will be really appreciated if we have pointed questions. Let's not kind of, be theoretically correct, politically correct, whatever it is. Have direct questions. If you expect us to also be absolutely bang on to the question. So have direct questions to the point.
Just to add on, Deep, it would be good that if you have come across any kind of situation, and if you want or try to understand some solution out of that situation, probably that would be great.
That doesn't mean the hands need to go down. So whoever had the question. Good morning all. Would you need a mic?
Good morning all. First of all, thank you very much for share this good insight with us. And my first question is, how nowadays organize recognize the true authenticity in the employees, and what type of importance organization give to the such employees? And sometimes due to high authenticity, employees lose their job. So how to manage authenticity? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I think the question that he's asking is, we all spoke about authenticity. So he's asking, how does an organization recognize authenticity? He came up with a very interesting second line. So he said, listen, if I'm truly being authentic, I might lose my job. So how do I prevent that? Is that the question? Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Sure. Good pointed question. I don't know your name, but
Manish.
Manish, thanks. See, authenticity is measured and recognized by various structured and unstructured things in many organizations nowadays. Let me come to the unstructured pieces first. If we say we do not know something, if we say that this is a mistake that I have done, I have violated a delegation of authority, I have led or taken a decision which led to financial losses, face losses, goodwill loss, how do you see the organization reacting to it? Organization is not necessarily your immediate line manager alone. This is about your function, this is about your department, this is about the top management. If you are still on the job next day, and if you know that, well, you have been asked what went wrong, you had that support, most importantly, getting that psychological safety that, well, you have done wrong, mistakes happen, learn from it, go ahead. I think that's the unstructured part of it. Get the cue and the body language from a lot of the organizations. Nobody will say, wow, we have acknowledged you have done mistake. No. But get the cue from what you hear, how do people respond to it, etc. Structured. Many organizations I know have come up with annual awards for trials which were unsuccessful. we normally get awards in all our award functions, right? The best project, the best team, the best person, the best this, whatever you call it, the star employees, whatever. There are organizations who have come up, and I am fortunate to be part of a couple of those, wherein we have come up with award situation or award categories which recognizes trial and failure. What happens in that is, one, the entire organization gets to know that this is a person who tried, being authentic, telling that I failed, but did not possibly say that, well, I'll not try again, right? So that's what is structured. Talking about the next part of your question, which is a super interesting question, Manish, is, I be authentic and tomorrow I lose my job. We are not part of a family, right? I mean, we do not have license of being authentic always and doing mistakes always and the same mistakes. We have license to do mistake, learn from the mistake, deliver next time. By being authentic, it means do not hide things. But if we are being authentic to say that we will not deliver, we will do the same mistake again and again, this is not charity. So I think there is a difference between being authentic and taking authenticity to be a, what I would say, privilege. There is a difference in that. So be authentic, do mistakes, learn from it, move on. We cannot repeat mistakes, but we can do mistakes. So I think if that answers your question, anybody wants to add on.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
I'd like to add on and share my views here also. See, here by authentic, what I understand and what I mean here is that being your true self, being confident in your own skin, being confident, comfortable, and having that courage. It doesn't mean that I don't know anything. I know 70% of the things, but nobody can know 100%. So when it comes to something where I'm not comfortable, which I don't know maybe till date, if somebody asks me something on AI, if I say yes, I know it, and there is a task that comes to me, then just imagine what will happen. I will not be able to do justice to that. That will be a much bigger embarrassment for myself and my team. As it is, the cat will be out of the bag. So, being authentic about yourself, things that you know you are sure of, you can do, you can deliver, and some things where you are learning or you will pick up. The way we are in a family. Honesty is another important thing. Here I will slightly differentiate it. I goofed up something, I need to be honest and own up. It actually happened with me some time back, long time back rather. In some Excel calculation, there was some formula error and something which should have been 54 came out as 34 and something, and it was almost to be presented to the CEO. I was honest and I had to own it up. Yes, it is my mistake. Rather than, letting it go and then being discovered by somebody senior. So I will slightly put it this way. One is honesty, which is a very important value. And the other is being authentic, not trying to all the time hide something. Having said that, all of this is valid and fair in a context. The context is very important.
Just to add to that, I'm fully agreeing of my previous speakers. First and foremost, honesty is not to be claimed. If I am honest, it is to be seen, it is to be understood, it is to be felt by the others. I cannot claim that I am honest. And same way, honesty or that things should not be taken as granted. You try and fail, but don't fail to try. Obviously, it is prevailing in the industry. But you also need to know the situation. Before the client, before the customer, or before the things, if you want to say that this is the honest thing which you are going to say, but this is not the fact, this is not the forum. There is also a separate room for that. You can say that I am agree to disagree. But yes, you have to be trusted. Unless you be honest, you can't be trusted. You can't be a team member. You cannot be a team leader also. You have to be honest, but it is not to be claimed. It is to be felt.
Hi, good morning everyone. So I see all of you putting a lot of emphasis on value. Good morning everyone. I'm Abhishek Singh, and I see a lot of emphasis being put on the value-based leadership. So my question is, what are the steps companies take to embed this style of leadership in all the managers, leaders in an organization? Because some managers just want to deliver the work on time, just by anyhow, and I think that is the leading cause for the high attrition rates in the companies.
So, I think I'm continuing on with my role of being a moderator, so don't worry, I'll step in. Yeah, I think the question that he is asking is that, many times in organizations, they see a lot of force that has been pushed in terms of just going in and getting the outcome done, And do you see leaders of that sort really working in? Is there any kind of training or a program that how does the organization teach this of going ahead and not being just a task-oriented leader? Is that what you're trying?
Yes, exactly.
Leading to attrition. So you've got a very task-oriented manager leading to people wanting to leave because it's either the IQ that is being achieved or you leave the job. So is there any kind of training or any support that the organization provides to young managers of this sort who do not want to be these kind of leaders?
Yes. So what we practice, I mean, this is very common in industry. So there are different kind of leaders. Some of them are task masters. Some of them are people master. So both the specs are dangerous for the organization. The right kind of strike between task and people, we learn about managerial grid in our OB, right? So that right kind of structure is extremely important. And as far as the engagement of task and the people is concerned, the industry spend time. Industry also have various training programs and various value-based programs on which this spec drives. See, all the industry, they have one core value. And nowadays, if you go any industry, there are core values, And in that core value, the striking has already been there. And the organization, they run value workshops throughout the year just to sensitize this. So different value workshops. I mean, in value workshop, people and inclusivity is one part, and customer focus and orientation is other part. So both the things go hand in hand. So that sensitization company wanted to establish, so that strike between people and task, both are important, has to be go along. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
I would love to add something. There are two things. One is performance, another is potential. We have to make potential mapped to the performance. Because without having the potential, it is true that without having the potential, performance will not come. And if I put the wrong potential in the right thing, even though the things will not come. So you can see that that extra job or over job, if you love the job, it will be your passion. And if you don't love the job, you will be stressed. So it depends But it is the role of the leader, yes, to assign the job to the correct person. We call it as a concept RHRN, right here, right now. So we have to choose the correct talent, correct character, and assign accordingly so that the work can be accomplished.
Your question was also about value-based leadership, right? I mean, how do we kind of imbibe that in the organization? Because I think just 2 points to that. One, value cannot be brought into an organization. What is a value? It's basically a set of behaviors, right? That as an organization we think is right, right? I mean, we have a common set of beliefs that gives to a set of behaviors that gives rise to your value system, and that's the culture. So I think 2 things that the organizations does, point blank to your question, in terms of training. One is recognize, punish, and reward, all 3 together, a particular set of behavior consistently. You know, if you say that do not give bribe as a part of your business, process, consistently do that. You might want to lose business, but you will still not bribe. Number 1. Number 2, as an organization, you might say that we are a caring organization. That's the value we talk of, right? In a situation wherein you say we are a caring organization, and if your family is going through a trouble, you do not consistently show that as an organization to everybody, every time, every single instance, value is good to have it on books. So I think, what do you kind of show as a part of behavior every time and consistently is how organizations try and build it. There are training programs wherein they say, well, this is our value system, this is how we would want to behave as an organization. So that can be told, but value cannot be brought up, right? So either we kind of fit into the way that the organization behavior is, and that's how we kind of do reinforce by actions is what kind of comes up. Just to add on to whatever they said.
Good morning, I am Chinmay Mahajan. Thank you for such an interesting and insightful session. My question is for Kaushik sir. You talked about collaborative leadership and mutual trust. So how can a leader ensure that there is trust in the team? Maybe you can give an example that something you did to foster trust in your team.
Very delightful question. Also relevant for the industry. Since I have worked in the manufacturing as well as the service, somebody may ask the questions that what are the differences? Being a HR leader, I should say that yes, there are difference in approach, difference in thought process, but the aim, overall spirits are same. Consider yourself as a chef. The chef is cooking soup, vegetables, biryanis, and others. But end of the day, he or she knows their role is to serve the customer. Now, regarding your direct questions, that is, how can I know is a trustworthy person? Prior to that, you have to understand, you have to leverage the freedom to your team. You have to make them feel that your leader is behind them. He is in front physically. Physically, he is showing the path, but he is taking the blame. One day you just try. If your colleague or somebody does a mistake, please take the blame on your head. On your head, please take the blame and see what would be the feeling. If you want to imbibe the real spirit, you have to value the people. Value is to be felt properly. It's not that I respect you. You have to give the respect in proper channel, because for a shorter period of time, it can be managed. But a longer time, If you are not giving real value, if the people are not being valued, it is people are not full. They will understand, be it soft-road people or the people in the top notch. So you have to give respect. People are to be trusted. Okay, fine. From the day one, don't trust, but give them the freedom, give them the opportunity to do, and give them the actually options. Let's see whether they are doing it from their heart or not. If you can add your emotions, your everything, it will come out. It is to be seen. It is not to be claimed.
Thank you.
In the interest of time, we would not be able to take any more questions. But if it's okay with all of you, we would like to collate all the questions and send it over. Yes, sir. Okay. Please raise your hands if you have any questions.
Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable words. My name is Priyanka Mandal, and I want to ask, since you have so much experience in the industry now, so, what are your observations, when fresh MBA graduates or as young leaders, we will enter the industry? So, what are some common mistakes which we do, and how can we avoid them?
Yeah, the basic mistake, I'll not take mistake. I mean, the basic learning what is missing in most of the industry, the first, while intaking students from various institutes, so there should be an induction plan. And one induction plan which imbibe both the culture. I mean, student, they have to enter into the industry as a corporate world. So after that, what happened? Some of the students, without knowing the fact, without getting into the business, without getting into the situation, they wanted to do something out of, say, out of curiosity or out of doing something very fast other than others. You know, that collaboration needs to be understood. That part of taking time to understand the industry is very important. So first you need to understand the industry better, then get into act. So that part is somehow missing while taking the students into the corporate world.
If I could add, just one more thing that I would go ahead and say. Many times students join for a job based on the brand and not based on what the role is or what the career could possibly be. So if you want to look at it in that way, I'm sorry, can you hear me now? Yeah, so what I was saying was that one challenge that I have noticed, many youngsters who are getting into their first jobs, they take it on as a job based on the brand that they see. And they're not really too concerned about what the role is, how is it going to help them, etc. This might lead to a mismatch. What my suggestion would be is to do a little bit more research, try and understand a little bit more in terms of what the role is going to entail, and does that suit with your expectations, your realistic requirements in terms of learning. And don't get myopic because of the brand. The brands are very, very powerful, but try and understand the job and see if you want that to be your career. How is this first step going to help you? Because your first step is going to be a significant milestone for you, because we all spoke about leaders and managers. I think the one thing that we all remember is our first manager, for good or for bad. So same way for you, you don't get into a role where you're worried about, my God, I don't know what I'm going to do now, or how soon can I move out from here? That's not what you should be thinking of in the first 18 to 24 months, right? So try and understand that and do your research before you get in. That could be one suggestion. Yeah.
Just to add on what Sunil has said, every organization is a structured ecosystem which gets driven by certain policies, procedures, SOPs, etc. So one needs to understand that. From the college, once you enter into such kind of ecosystem, It's quite essential for you to understand this ecosystem as a process-based ecosystem. Generally, good organizations assign buddies, to all the new entrants. If they don't, treat your manager as your buddy, or at least request HR or somebody that please give me somebody, so that, wherever I want to sell through for all kind of operational hassles, somebody is there to guide you. And you generally then don't do the mistakes. So please try to get the buddy kind of thing for you to have selling through the first days. Okay? Automatically then the functional excellence and your theoretical knowledge would make you comfortable in the job and you start performing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Priyanka, two very practical aspects of mistakes. Priyanka, right? Yeah. One, all of us, we who come out of a B school, we want to get the cherry first, right? If we are part of sales and marketing, we would want to get into branding straight. We would want to get into marketing straight. We would want to get into the trade marketing part. I would not want to do sales as an ASM. That's my first thing I normally do. Again, I'm generalizing, not for any one of us, but yeah, we normally do that. We are coming out of operations. We would want to get into planning, network ops. We would want to get into PPC. We'll get into demand plan, all that. I would not want to get into procurement. I don't want to dirty my hands. Number two. HR, all of us would want to be part of the corporate office, learning, talent, big words, right? And then those very, I would say, jazzy words, brand, marketing, net ops, First mistake, we cannot be a marketer if I do not understand the ground reality. So I would not talk of specific mistakes, but what we see a lot of us doing nowadays from a lot of campuses that we see is we want to be there right now. Not possible, guys. We need to have that path towards that. So doing dirty words, dirty jobs. Dirty jobs means hands-on jobs. I think it's so very important that a lot of us, we do mistakes, that we can become a talent manager, we can become a brand manager coming out of the industry. Nobody does it, that's one. Second thing I really feel that happens in the industry nowadays with multi-gen kind of working together. One is whoever had done all those stuff in the last 40, 50, 60, 100 years, depending on the organization, they were all fools. But we forget to remember the fact that the organization that we are joining as one of our dream companies have become a dream company by some of those guys who have done it for the last 40 years. So something they have done right. We might be smarter, but let us try and figure out what was that right thing that they have done before we judge them, and then possibly try and bring in a change. So these are the two behavioral mistakes I would talk about that we normally fall prey to. If I can generalize, important because it builds your credibility, makes you a team player. Collaboration that we spoke of really helps. We start respecting others. We start respecting others, we get respect from people.
Just a small addition. No mistakes. For newcomers, no mistakes. It's an experience. There is nothing to lose. Don't consider it as a mistake. You will get the experience. You will earn the experience. You have to use those experience in today's experiment to meet the company's expectations. Correct?
Hello, sir. Thank you for the valuable insights. My name is Lekha, and my question is, Gen Z is more vocal and transparent about their expectations from the organization. So how can organization foster open dialogues without losing in authority structures? And add on to that is how cultural dynamics is changing in organization.
Nice question. I would love to give the answer of these questions. In organizations, people do the succession planning. as previously said, from generation X to millennial to Gen Z to next. So organization do the succession planning. Now, we call it as a succession is a science of recruitment and art of selections. Now this Gen Z, yes, they are a bit faster. They want to see their career. They want to see their career path. Vis-a-vis organization also expect their deliverables. How much you can deliver. How much you are thorough to your domain. How much you are expert. From the corporate office, you may handle the show, but you have to know the ground reality, what is happening in the market, what is happening in your shop floor, what is happening in your manufacturing unit. So without having that domain properly strong, you cannot handle the show. Yes, we have a good track record, good track plan. Within a span of 12 years from the management trainee to the plant head, that career is also present. Also the career of present where the people are sticking for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years for the same role, but still the people are working. So always I prefer the performance versus potential matrix with a 3x3, where you can find the high flyers as well as the low flyers. Both are very, very sensitive. For high flyer, be it Gen Z or others, you have to give a proper career path. And for the low flyers, can you throw them out? No, on the first instance. You have to create DAP, Development Action Plan. You have to give them a second chance to develop themselves. Then if they can meet the mid flyers. So you have to have a proper talent review system. So yes, career path is there, provided you have to deliver. Thank you.
Yeah, to answer your questions, as Gen Zs are vocal, so for that, whatever you said vocal, but we called it at the learning as far as industry is concerned, abridging our knowledge and thought process with the Gen Z. So a reverse mentoring program, this is one solution to that which company does and establish that. Second, which Mr. Kaushik said, the buddy program, and third is the skip level program. So these are the three programs which genuinely company follow to heard that what Gen Zs are thinking and how loudly we can accommodate ourselves with the technological changes which is happening in industry.
Batch, in the interest of time, we'll be taking only one last question.
I'll just answer this question. I've not finished. Nita, right? Rika, okay. Being a devil's advocate, guys, why do you think Gen Zs are vocal? Are they really? And why do you think others are not? Do you really think others are not? I mean, just throwing it out. I agree. I mean, I'm not disagreeing to the fact that Gen Zs are vocal, but why do we think that others are not? I'll continue after I hear back. All right, Gen Zs are more vocal. Perfect. Anybody else? My question was, do you think others are not? They were vocal, but now it's heard about it more. You know, we are kind of pom-pomming it more, is it? All right.
I mean, I also think that they're very selective, like others, and Gen Zs are like, whatever they feel like, they're open to sell. Talk
Perfect.
about it.
So we are talking about, great. I think, Nita, one part is very, very clear. Each one of us had been vocal in our era. I mean, it's a different generation that we are living in. We cannot necessarily compare a baby boomer and a Gen Z, the era that they were, kind of working or operating in. Today, the important thing is there are multiple generations working together. One generation is moving out, somebody is coming in. Now, to your question, coming to that, that Gen Zs are very vocal and how do organizations manage that? That's your question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think not all organizations would want to have Gen Zs. Let me be blunt. Some organizations which cannot manage Gen Zs will not have Gen Zs in the organization. Let us be very clear on that. By telling this, I mean the industries as well. We might have a 100-year-old organization which might still want to have a Gen Z coming in, but a 5 or 10-year-olds, 15-year-old organization might not want to have Gen Zs coming in. The reason is, there are two reasons for that. One, do we really want a equal voice or not? Any organization which will have equal voice or want to hear equal voice will have Gen Zs coming in, they'll have alphas coming in, millennials coming in, and they will all have equal sounding board to talk, and they will not be judged. The question that comes in here is, it's not about Gen Zs being vocal or not, whether they're being judged or not. Everybody is vocal, but people judge that, well, a Gen Z will come and speak whatever they want. It's okay to speak out whatever they want as long as they're not abusing, right? If it's in context. So it's about, so what does organizations do? One, consistent messaging across to all sets of leadership, all strata of the organization, that we are open to hear. When Gen Zs, millennials at that point in time would come and talk, they would be possibly heard and it would be reiterated in forums by senior leaders. The moment a senior leader talks about it and acknowledges a fact of that vocalness from a Gen Z, it becomes a norm, or it gets into a part of the culture. So that's something that people do. But again, nonsense is not tolerated. Sense and being vocal is absolutely fine. So I think the problem that we normally hear is, anybody for that matter, any generation talking nonsense is not tolerated. Yes, talk sense, be vocal, fight, doesn't matter.
There's an important aspect here which I'd like to highlight is there is some sense of responsibility on Gen Z also. Are we choosing the right organization for ourselves? Every organization has a distinct culture, set of values, a rate of change inside. What is the path of their transformation? What is their rate of growth? How are they growing in the market? What is that industry? So it's important, without meaning any bad. Suppose somebody is a high flyer and he wants to have a very fast growth, maybe promotion in every 2 years, and he joins, just for the sake of name, I'm taking a name, Indian Railways. Would he be happy? Now you have joined. Now I ask you, why did you join? Now you will have some questions and so on, but at the same time you are not able to, or somebody is not able to coexist with the other challenges of this organization. Maybe somebody wants to enjoy the security, okay, the benefits, compensation benefits. But the other side of it, he or she is not able to adjust with, which may be challenging. So choosing the right place for us, where I will fit in, is important. There is something called career anchors. You may like to look it up sometime. What are your career anchors? Does the organization that you are selecting address it? Is it known culturally for that? Okay, so these are important. At the same time, every organization, of course, people are our biggest assets, which provide us the competitive advantage, the core organization capabilities. Organizations are also trying to adapt and adopt that how do we welcome this generation, engage them, energize them, develop them. So there are mentors identified, there are buddy programs identified. Having said that, two things. There is no shortcut to success. One has to actually deliver, prove, and then get to the next level. Second thing is, progression or anything good starts with fantastic performance in the current role and level. Aaj jahan hai, wahan you have to create a shining example. Agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Prove that, then ask. Third thing, we all should remember, you should remember it even more. Every one of you, while all of you are sitting in the same class today, from the day that you are out of this campus, all of you will have your different learning journey, leadership journey, and career journey. Constant comparison is not going to help anyone. And this is what we keep on doing. What is my peer doing? What is my batchmate doing? How much is he earning? This, that, where is he placed? Yes or no? Just imagine all the people with whom you had studied in school. Are you all at the same place today? You would be ahead of 50% of the people. And 50% people may be ahead of you. You have had your own learning journey, development journey, and career. Focus on that. One should focus on learning and delivering the goods first. The start always is producing shining examples and great successes where you are. So here at VGSoM, your target should be to be in the top 10. This is what matters here. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We would now like to seize this moment to extend our sincere appreciation to our renowned panelists. Your insightful responses have addressed our queries and enriched our curious minds with clarity of thought. As a gesture of our heartfelt appreciation, we now invite our esteemed professors to step forward and present mementos to our distinguished panelists and guests in recognition of their invaluable contributions.
We would now like to invite Professor Aradhna Malik to honor Mr. Asha Kumar Mishra.
Moving forward, we request Professor Aradhna Malik to honor Mr. Arnangshu Chatterjee with a memento. Thank you, ma'am. We humbly request Professor Rudra Prakash Pradam to present a memento to Mr. Deep Banerjee.
We would now like to invite Professor Anupam Ghosh to present Mr. Kaushik Mukherjee with a memento. Thank you, sir. Next, we would like to call upon Professor Chandrasekhar Mishra to present Mr. Prashant Deshpande with a memento.
Thank you, sir. We humbly request Professor Sanjeev Chowdhury to present a memento to our moderator, Mr. Sunil Nayak. Thank you, sir. As this memorable conclave culminates, we find ourselves both humbled and grateful to everyone whose presence and insight has made Vaachna 2025 truly exceptional. Today has been a celebration of collaboration, curiosity, and relentless spirit of progress. I would now like to introduce Dr. Sanjeev Chowdhury, the faculty advisor of VGSoM's Corporate and Media Interaction Cell. With over 41 years of distinguished professional experience, including 34 years in the oil and gas industry and extensive leadership roles in India and Kuwait, Dr. Chowdhury brings a rare blend of strategic acumen and operational expertise. His expertise spans across various cross-functional domains, including corporate planning, business performance improvement, operations, optimization, project management, and human resources.
A proud alumnus of IIT Kharagpur, he holds his BTech honors, MTech, and PhD in Industrial Engineering and Management from this very institute. As a scholar practitioner, Dr. Chowdhury authored the seminal work of optimization and business improvement studies in upstream oil and gas industry, published by John Wiley and Sons. His many accolades, including the Kuwait Gulf Oil Company's Ideal Employee Award, the ONGC Chairman's Award, and the ONGC Director's Award, stand as a testament to his excellence, both in industry and academia. We are privileged today to welcome Dr. Chowdhury to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you all. Due to the paucity of time, I will not take much time because some of the panelists will just rush to airport from here. Dean also has to rush to another this conclave. So firstly, I thank you all. I am grateful and thankful to all the panelists who has taken time and to be here and exchange their views and all. That you must have learned many things today. So try to imbibe those learning. So I'll just recall one or two, like what they have said. You make mistake, do mistake, but don't repeat mistake. That will not be taken very kindly in the industry for repeating the same mistakes and all. Then be on time. In the class, come at 8 o'clock. So otherwise, what happens, see, from 8:30, you have to come 8 o'clock. So 8 o'clock, you have to come 7:30. So be on time. That is a learning. Then trust. Trust actually is a function of time. You know, trust does not grow overnight. It is on long-term basis. Trust binds. Trust also blinds. No, like love, it also binds and blinds. Right. So be careful for that. And other things, I think they have told many other things like, that Gen Z is more vocal, you are telling and all, no? So in my experience, it is easier to handle the vocal employees. Those who are not non-vocal, that is difficult to handle. So Gen Zs will be, for me, it will be easier to handle when you are coming out. But the employees who do not come out and all tell, there will be more, that the troublemakers will make you, more complicated. That is my things and all. I think they will agree to it. So it is easier to handle those who are vocal. Anyway, so, and since I'm also thankful, I will not go for much on this because time is very short. We are thankful to Dean because she is constantly supporting and all, and she has to now rush also to another conclave, and Chandrasekhar Misra also has to go. So then I'm thankful to all the students who are here and who are, I think it has been benefited to you, and try to imbibe whatever teachings you have got it. I am thankful to the CMI team, notwithstanding the scolding they got from me, but they did a very good job. So, because this scolding makes you resilient, no? As they are talking about resilient and all, you will find many scolding, many firing in the industry. Ask them, they will tell you. So, then I am also thankful to all the VGSoM staff, especially Shuman, Ranjit, and Arunabo and all. They have made it very supportive. I am also thankful to the faculty members, especially who are present there, for their presence, and they have also supported us. And also, if I missed someone, that streaming team, they are also very, this Netaji Auditorium staff and all. Yesterday night at 12 o'clock, we are arranging this, and they are kind enough to be there. So thank you very much for attending these things. So then you. Thank you, thank you for being with us. Thank you to all. The second year students, there is Kalidas, you have got the things now for ERP and all. There is another event going on that especially the finance people will be very much benefited, because the chairman of BSc is there giving.
Ladies and gentlemen, with this, we bid you farewell. First year batch, kindly wait till our CMI team assists the panelists for post-event formalities.